like potentially like server issues and stuff happening tomorrow. Nice. Dude, it just looks so satisfying with the pistol one tabs. Oh my goodness. Oh guys, what is up? Max in our first Descendant video, and today we're going over my quick little guide for Yujin. Now, Yujin is a healing Descendant that I honestly wasn't really all that interested in playing, but I got one of his Transcendent modules that completely changes kit, and I'm actually loving him. I think Yujin has some of the highest potential for Descendants once we get harder and harder content. However, his kit is currently bugged, so we're going to be talking about the bug, and this isn't going to be a full build guide, just because, like, currently, in order to play him optimally, you have to play him suboptimally, which we'll explain in a second, but hope you guys enjoy the video. Let's get right into it. So the reason I wanted to make this video is for this Transcendent module, Proliferating Allergy. Now, I love AoE abilities in video games, and I love like chain reaction kills, and this is like quite literally the best of both worlds. Proliferating Allergy, if I take it off, his 2 ability is usually Restructure Serum. This is an ability that you cast on 2 bosses or enemies, and then as you shoot them and kill them, you're basically going to be healing yourself and your teammates. However, if you put Proliferating Allergy on, it turns it from a healing ability to a damage ability. This works similar to like Freyna's Poison on enemies. However, instead of a dot damage, it is just a single impact, and it starts at a 1000 damage multiplier and can hit whole screens of enemies. This turns Yujin into kind of a monster when it comes to mobbing. To give you a quick example of how this ability looks, so we're going to put it on this Annihilator in the middle. He's got this mark on him, and now when I shoot him, that'll spread to the other enemies, and then when I shoot them, I'm going to explode all of them. So when you kill one enemy with it on, it's going to detonate and spread to the other enemies, and you can kind of get some crazy chain reaction kills and like one-shotting whole packs with this. Now, the Thundercage is also a really interesting option for Yujin, just because the Thundercage, if you have it ranked 4 out of 4, will guarantee proc explosions, and this leads to like really satisfying AoE explosions where the Thundercage is going to kill the enemy that you're exploding, but then it will cause an explosion, and most of the time that explosion, like your Proliferating Allergy, will spread to the next enemy, and it'll proc that explosion, and so you get these like huge screen-wide just explosion chains if you're rocking the Thundercage, which is really cool. But the Divine Punishment is technically his best in slot weapon. This is a unique weapon that has the unique ability Prayer, where with Yujin you can get all 3 different buffs on him. Basically, if you are buffing one of your allies, you're going to get stacking defense. If you're using your 1 or your 4 to heal allies, you're going to be getting praise, which is going to give you skill cooldown modifier. And if you're debuffing enemies, which is Proliferating Allergy counts as a debuff, you're going to get stacking damage. And so this is actually quite a strong weapon that Yujin can use very well. So the 3 weapons that I've been messing around with him are the Thundercage, the Divine Punishment, and the Nazastras. Mainly using the Nazastras because it's a very hard-hitting gun, and it's just very satisfying to shoot 1 bullet into a pack and everything just kind of explode. But yeah, that's kind of what I've been rocking on him. And this is my Divine Punishment build currently. It's very, very budget. The main thing is I'm using Toxic Enhancement on it because as long as we have an element on this thing, it counts as applying a debuff, so then we can self-proc that gun damage for ourselves with prayer, and so just kind of using budget setup here, but I would build this thing out fully into crit. These are the mods that I was rocking on my Nazastra, in case you were curious. I'm not gonna like fully cover this because I'm still working on a full build guide for this thing, and I'm still testing a bunch of these modules, but just wanted to show you guys what I'm rocking. Yujin's other abilities are Solitary Healing. This can only heal teammates. You can't use this to heal yourself unless you use a Transcendent module for it. But after it ends or a teammate walks too far away, you get a 23% base damage increase for your abilities and a 34% increased damage for your guns, which is kind of crazy. His 3 applies damage reduction to all of your teammates, which is amazing, and also can heal them. This doesn't work for Yujin himself. So it's kind of just a useless ability for you, but it helps your teammates. And then your 4 gives you everyone in your team, as long as they're close to you, tons of healing and more base skill power damage and more base firearm attack, which is kind of nuts. That's kind of why I think Yujin has some crazy potential to be a really, really strong character. Right now, there's not like quite hard enough content that like really requires a healer, but you know, the harder the content, the more this character is going to be helpful and really important. Now, for the mods that I'm using with Proliferating Allergy, the main 2 are maximize range and skill expansion. This gives his 2 as much range as possible. We're also going to want to be using nimble fingers and MP conversion. These 2 mods give us the cooldown that we need to spam this. It is now on, with this setup, a 2.5 second cooldown. So there's basically never a pack of mobs that you don't have this ability up for, which makes him feel really powerful. We're going to be using focus on non-attribute to boost up the base damage. Once again, he already has a really big modifier, so things that boost modifier are only going to like marginally increase his damage, and this is a massive damage increase. Plus, we get extra cooldown, and then we can use increased HP so that he can stay alive, and MP collector so that we can spam his 2. If you need healing, you can just click your 4. One thing that I don't have for this build is Passionate Sponsor. This would be like a best in slot mod for him. I've been farming a bunch of hard mode executioners for this, just haven't been able to get one. I did have one, but then I combined it trying to get Shield Collector. But this thing reads that whenever we're buffing or recovering our teammates, we're going to be getting stacking gun damage and skill power modifier, which is just kind of disgusting. And Yujin takes really good use out of this thing. So yeah, Passionate Sponsor would be really nice on this setup. Next up, I've got like a team healer setup. This setup is about using Duty and Sacrifice, which is a Transcendent module that gives you and your teammates more healing from the 4 and gives it infinite range. This is an incredibly powerful healing ability, and with our setup, we've got tons of cooldown, duration, and outgoing heal to heal our teammates more. We were doing a ton of testing on this yesterday. Unfortunately, the reason I didn't want to like fully showcase this is because it's quite literally bugged. So I'm going to showcase the amount of healing. This is just me putting on the mod. We've got some tons of HP on. We've got Stim Accelerant, increased HP, time distribution, and some nimble fingers. And we are going to quickly take those mods off and then put them back on. So this is wearing a level 100 reactor. I've now got a total of 26,000 HP. We're just doing this to show you. But when I click my 4th ability, I'm going to get a 14,000 heal. And then every tick of my healing is only going to be healing me for 32 health, which is basically nothing. And this reads that it's going to give you like scaling recovery off of your regeneration boost, or getting like target max HP plus 10% recovery 100%. This should probably be scaling and giving me a bunch of HP. However, I just want to show you guys something real quick. We're going to put on a level 1 reactor. Level 1 reactor with nothing on it. We're going to do this exact same test. So we'll take off these mods. So now we've got the blue reactor. We've got all the same mods on. And now when I click my 4, I'm getting a 15,000 heal, and then I'm getting over 1,000 HP per tick on a level 1 reactor. So that's kind of what's going on with Yujin right now. If you want to become a Giga healer, you have to use a level 1 reactor. Otherwise, if you want to scale your healing, you have to use a bunch of mods that you have to use to scale your healing, where with a level 1 reactor, you don't have to use anything. So that's why on my like team healer setup, I'm not scaling my skill power at all, because I just throw on a level 1 reactor and I've got Giga heals. So yeah, quite literally broken. I hope that's something that's fixed so that I can put out a proper guide for this character, because I do think he's quite fun. Your components, I've just been using HP stuff, and then I use 2-piece annihilation. 2-piece annihilation gives you a 5.7% skill duration increase. On that, we are getting just over 7 seconds of our regeneration boost. This ticks once every 1 second, so getting it to 7.1 gives us an extra big tick of healing. So that's actually kind of amazing. As you can see, if I take that off, now I no longer have 2-piece annihilation, and now I only have a 6.8 second duration on our regeneration boost. So that's what I've been rocking for him on components. Guys, that is going to do it for the video. I hope you enjoyed. Just a quick little guide on Yujin. I think this character has a ton of potential. I will probably revisit him once his healing stuff is a little bit more sorted out. But if you're looking for a character that can heal, buff your teammates, play support role, but also clear screens of enemies, he is a really cool choice. I'll catch you all in the next one, guys. Take care. Peace.